Nationalism and Imperialism. The definitions are that nationalism is a feeling that people have of being loyal and proud of their country. Imperialism is the seizure of a country or territory by a stronger. Characteristics of nationalism are that there was an idea that a country is more superior than others and that there should be a sense of unity between the people. Effects of nationalism are that it encouraged the idea of common culture, increased the sense of identification of the people, but it could also lead to persecution of minorities. Otto von Bismarck became the minister-president in Prussia's government. He was less opposed to nationalism than the Austrians, and he favored expanding Prussian influence with Germany's smaller states. He was also not against using German nationalism to expand Prussia's power. Bismarck wanted to complete Germany's unification by going to war with France, so at the end of the Franco-Prussian War, the German victory increased nationalism within the German states. Napoleon III supported Piedmont Sardinia in the Crimean War against Austria. Later on, Austria was defeated at Solferino in 1859. In July of 1859, a compromise peace was established at the Conference of Villafranca. Giuseppe Garibaldi led 1,000 nationalists to Sicily and took it over within 3 months. By March 17, 1861, the new Kingdom of Italy was proclaimed. Characteristics of imperialism are that there was a want of gaining power through claiming territories, and there was also a spread of culture. Effects of imperialism was that there was an increase in racism, the idea that people of foreign lands were to be westernized, and the division of Africa. Factors of the exploration of Africa are that in 1884 the Maxim gun was invented, which showed technological superiority within Europe. Europeans also had superior arms and steam engines as transportation through rivers. Europeans were highly susceptible of diseases such as malaria, and variety of languages and cultures discouraged unity between Africans. During the Berlin Conference, 14 nations made rules for dividing Africa between each other, and no African leaders were invited. By 1914, Ethiopia and Liberia remained free from any European countries. In South Africa, the Zulu nation fought against Britain for the land. The Zulu chief Shaka had good military organization, but his successors couldn't keep up the fight. In 1887, the British took control over the Zulu nation. Different forms of imperialism are colony, protectorate, sphere of influence, and economic imperialism. Colony is a country or a territory governed internally by a foreign power. A protectorate is a country or a territory with its own internal government, but under the control of an outside power. Sphere of influence is an area in which an outside power claims exclusive investment or trading privileges. And economic imperialism is an independent but less developed country controlled by private business interests rather than other governments. The Dutch East India Company sought lands in Southeast Asia. The Dutch then finally ruled over Indonesia, and it became the Dutch East Indies. Then for Britain, they took over the Malayan Peninsula, and the French gained control over Indochina. The U.S. acquired the Philippine Islands, Puerto Rico, and Guam as a result of the Spanish-American War in 1898. Then the U.S. defeated Filipino nationalists in 1902 and built roads, railroads, hospitals, and school systems. By the 1970s, U.S. became interested in annexing Hawaii. Later on, Hawaii became annexed in 1898.